All
I
right.
don't know who I don't know who Sean is, but he subscribed to us with just the starting soon, and I really appreciate that vote of faith.
Uh,
Thank you, Sean. This
that would
one's
be my
for you.
brother, who is watching tonight.
Lovely.
There are a lot of Seans on this planet. I couldn't be certain.
Nope, it's him.
Thank you, Sean.
At least I assume it's him, since he asked for the link. Anyway.
I hope it's him.
Good evening. I am Joey, the Dungeon Master. You want to reintroduce yourselves quickly?
I'm Kian Fonasa. I'll be playing Hadrien Merith. I apologize to all the French speakers for my butchering of your accent. Don't worry, I won't be trying anymore.
Hello, I'm Eleanor. I'm playing Merith.
I'm Dusty. I'm going to be playing Atrix.
And I'm Joseph, and I'll be playing Lukas.
And I'm going to try and keep all of their names straight because I'm bad at that. Anyway, where we left off last time, you had just begun investigating what had happened for the last 2 weeks as you woke up with no memory of said time. You found several different clues scattered around about the individuals you were contracted with to enter the Black City and are currently, if I remember correctly, in the Lady Mayor's house, having just had a lovely discussion with her, and are about to go to the top of the tower and get your first glimpse of the Black City.
More accurately, probably like our second glimpse.
Well, the first glimpse that you remember.
Yeah.
A glimpse.
Alright. Is there anything that I'm forgetting that you guys remember?
Nothing important. Nothing that won't soon come up.
Fair enough.
Nope.
Alright. Then, having just secured your place for the evening, you begin to ascend the staircase with Lady Mare Annalise Newfield, who has been absolutely thrilled at all of your presence, as it improves her, at least she feels it's going to improve her likelihood of becoming a major tourist destination. And she is full continuing her sales pitch the entire time she is leading you guys up here about all of the plans she has, seeing as she thinks that Lady Merith being here means that she might have finally made it as a tourist destination and now is going to have some real capital to start working with. But eventually leads you to the top of this very tall tower you've been walking for a while, and proceeds to open the very ornate doors that this thing has and usher you onto a small balcony. You have a beautiful view of Hope Falls. You can see the entire town from up here, in addition to a good chunk of the surrounding area, which is mostly farmland and pastures for animals, with the exception of one path leading in the direction of the Black City that seems to very quickly cut off to being more barren. And as you follow this track up, you catch your first glimpse of the Black City. It is a large city, quite a ways off in the distance. And you can kind of see around it, you know those heat shimmers that you sometimes see on, like, pavement? The whole thing is rippling like that, despite the fact that it's a fairly cool day and really has no business doing that. It is also permanently overcast over that area. So the whole thing is covered in clouds, even though the rest of the sky is only partly cloudy. There isn't a storm happening over there at the moment, though I know, Lukas, you would be familiar with the fact that that's a fairly common occurrence. And if you didn't remember, the Lady Mayor informed all of you that that was a fairly common occurrence a few minutes ago for your characters and about 2 weeks ago for the rest of us. But there is not currently one happening. However, as you look at this, you all have a sudden moment of pain between your temples. And I would like everyone to roll a intelligence saving throw for me.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
16 for me.
And Dusty, if you said something, I didn't hear it.
It was 8.
Okay. So, the only one who takes any damage from having a memory forcibly re-enter their mind is Dusty. However, it's only 1 point of psychic damage, so you're fine.
Cool. I'm so smart.
Get a little paper cut on your brain.
Basically.
Yeah, happens.
But you all suddenly remember standing right outside that shimmering as inside one of, like, the arcane circles for a ritual spell, as the light from the spell is fading. You are all 7 there, so you 4 plus you're missing 3. And as you kind of come into this, Herschel, the guy who hired you, looks over to the Pythonian who was with you and simply goes, "Did it work?" And she replies, "Of course. Who wants to be the first to have the honor to enter the Black City in 2 millennium?" And it is Lady Debris who steps forward. You see a scythe appear in her hand as she plunges through the veil without waiting for any other discussion. And you are back on the balcony, having just remembered this.
So we can recover our memories. Cool.
Yep. It seems that certain things might trigger memories to come back into your minds.
So amnesia. Got it.
Atrix, how you doing over there, bud?
My head don't feel too good.
You need to remember better next time.
I know. Stuff hurts from time to time.
Yeah.
So we can see the buildings in the city, right?
It's a ways in the distance, but you can see it, yes.
Map markers
Okay.
revealed.
I'm assuming more of just like kind of like the basic outline of the buildings and the
yeah,
backdrop type of
because
thing.
it's
Gotcha.
still, you know, it takes quite a ways, or quite a long time to get there still, a couple of days. But because of the weird distortion around the city, in addition to the distortion along the trails, it is still visible. And it's
Okay.
mildly unsettling. Because you know that it probably shouldn't be. Now, you are also quite a ways up. Think of, if you've ever been, like, on top of a mountain, how far you can see. It's not quite that high, but it is definitely significantly elevated compared to the surrounding area, which is mostly, like I said, farmland. There's not a lot of high buildings, and there's not a lot of trees to block your path of line of sight.
Like an extra 40, 50 feet up, I'm guessing. Or is it like a big manor
This
house?
is more like what you would think of as a true spire for like a mage's tower. This is...
Okay.
You're probably a good 150 feet above ground level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, so that really was a solid walk up.
Yeah.
I was
So I probably shouldn't fall off this balcony then.
I do not
I'll
recommend
catch you. You'll be fine.
Guys, I can't remember. Did we turn fall damage on for this one? Let me dive off real quick and check.
The answer is yes.
Here, take my valuable stuff so when I respawn I can I don't lose it.
And that was the story.
Saves tool belt on death.
Our 4 players became 3 players until the 4th re-rolled a new character. Anyway.
Alright.
It's a few moments that she gives you to look at this. Her apparently oblivious to the fact that you guys all just kind of spaced out there for a moment before snapping
We
back
were
to reality.
admiring how beautiful this view is.
He goes, I know, isn't it splendid? I'm imagining putting large telescope-like spy glasses on towers around the city where folks will be able to get a truly good view of the city.
A marvelous idea. I would love to see it.
Excellent. Excellent. I unfortunately don't have any of the glass yet made, but it's in the works, I promise.
Tell you what. If you can prove the tourist interest in Hope Falls, I'll see about putting in a good advisory to the lady here and his lordship back on the Blackwatch Isle to help and invest in your
It would
in
be
your
ladyship on
endeavor.
Blackwatch, but
the what?
it would be the ladyship on Blackwatch, but your character would know that and would have said it correctly.
Okay, well, yeah, sure. Well, I was referring to this lady here and whoever the hell's
It
back
would still be
you
the
know,
lady of Blackwatch.
still there. Okay, 2 ladies of Blackwatch.
Yes.
Neato.
One is currently the ruling body there, and the other is Merith.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
That
Yeah.
would be
Anywho,
that would be most appreciated. As the more capital I have to build such an endeavor, the more extravagant I can construct these observation platforms and inns, and again just launching into now a full like dream plan of what she could do with true finances to go with the ambition she has.
I vote we just help the one right now.
I mean, that's up to y'all.
How long do you believe it would take to produce these spy glasses?
It shouldn't take terribly long, but I would have to import true lenses from somewhere else, as no one local is currently producing lenses of the quality that I would require.
I see. I will keep the idea in mind. Lady Blackwatch has expressed an interest in this location. and I am interested in the ideas you're putting forward. If they're not available to see yet, that's fine. I will keep it in mind for later.
Much appreciated. I have requisitioned one such spyglass to be already constructed for my tower here, but it's probably still a few weeks for completion.
It is a true disappointment.
I wholeheartedly agree. But I have tried
I
with
may.
inferior glasses, and they just don't get the desired effect.
If I may, you seem quite well up on the goings on around here. Any good gossip? Any, like, what's going on with you? Going on with you? Anything interesting happen with you recently? Any scandals in the town of Hope Falls? You know, not Blackwatch, but Hope Falls, not Blackwatch, the Black City.
Yeah. Again, your character would have said this right, but it's a lot of names. Keep
Your
straight.
character has spent 20 plus some 28 years in this world.
Exactly.
I've spent about 8 hours.
Roll a persuasion for me.
Hang on a second. That is 13.
13. She already told you about, well, it was about you, the people who came back from Blackwatch. Or Black City. Now you got me doing it because you screwed it up.
Good job. Good job. It's just going to be a trend from now on.
Probably. The two names are way closer than I ever intended them to be, considering they're quite a ways apart on my map.
To be fair, mine probably wasn't supposed to be here at the inception of this idea.
Not really, but we're working on it, so it'll be fine.
Let's just go with the flow.
Anyway.
Just go with the flow.
Absolutely.
She kind of gets real quiet for a minute before being like, there's been a couple of incidents lately, one of which was directly outside my doors. At my front gates, in fact.
This isn't a threat to security, is it? Because if it is, we're going to have to ship up and head on out.
I don't know what it was a threat implying at all, actually. It was more likely connected to the individuals who came back from the Black City, as it was the day after they were brought into the city that it appeared. It was a simple note driven into my door and held in place by a dagger.
What
there
it
has
say?
been no attempts to enter the property or honestly even do more damage than that small dagger did to my gates. It was rather odd.
You cannot think of anyone who would wish to threaten you?
I'm the Lady Mayor of a city. There's always someone that would like to threaten me.
Suppose that
In
is
this
true.
direct a manner? No.
What did the note say?
Return what you have taken. As
That's
I'm
all?
not in the habit of being a thief. I haven't stolen anything recently, and to my knowledge, neither have any of my staff here in the manor.
They be
Is
talking
there
about taxes.
Potentially.
Because I know a lot of folks think taxes are theft. Of course, this is really weirdly dire and cryptic for taxes, so
I would be inclined to agree. Though it is a possibility.
Was there any kind of insignia on it or any kind of signature at the bottom or on the back?
Not that I saw. you guys did see the note.
Right.
Like a few.
Right.
For your characters, again, a few hours ago, you saw this note, along with the dagger.
this
that
So it
was
was the
used
same.
to
It was the
drive
same note that we.
This was
Yeah,
the building that he told you it was jammed into the gates on.
I'm assuming that
Gotcha.
our characters are at this point just kind of seeing if she gives us contextual information we didn't have before, or like gauging her responses, like her attitude and whatnot.
I mean, if you want to gauge
Like-
her attitude, you could roll insight.
I'm gonna do that.
I would be
Ooh,
inclined to
natural
agree.
3. Hang on a second.
Uh,
I have. Where is insight? Why can't I read this anymore? No,
for
that's
all
a,
intents and purposes, it's a solid 5. I'm intrigued by the Black City.
it's a 5. She's bothered by the note, is what I
Yeah.
know about it.
Yeah, she is. If there was more,
Yeah, I got an 11.
okay. I don't know if Merith rolled for this or not.
I did not, but I can.
It doesn't matter. It's up to you. If you
Sure.
If you think Merith would be trying to get her, if she's, being truthful, telling you everything she knows, that kind of thing, it would make sense for you to roll.
18.
Okay.
She's the smart one.
So, for 3 of you, she's probably bothered by this note. And very obviously is put off. Meredith. She's definitely put off by the note. But you get this distinct feeling that she's not telling you everything.
Okay. I don't know that she said anything I want to press her on, though. So,
And I was going to say, you don't have to. It's just something to keep in the back of your head for later. Because
okay.
you're the only one that figured it out. Your 3 companions here, as far as they're concerned, she is being 100% genuine, not holding anything back and telling them everything. And is...
I'm going to try to
Very
persuade her
disturbed.
to tell me more.
Go
I don't
for
know
it.
what to press for. Can I just press her to say she's not being honest?
I
Is
mean,
that an option?
Sword.
Drawing your weapon in the manor house of a noble, regardless how mighty.
I didn't want to draw my weapon. I just
No,
wanted to use my
Dusty was
clout
the one that
as a
said reach
powerful
for your
lady.
sword. And I'm giving him
That
the
wasn't the plan.
context of Dusty. Bad idea.
So
All right. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
22 to hit the mayor. that obviously. Lucas would have more sense than that.
At 20 on my seduce the dragon check. How do I do?
Okay. Would that be persuasion or would that be intimidation?
Well, how are you doing it? Are you trying to sweet talk her into telling you more, or are you trying to threaten her into telling you more?
I'll go for sweet talking her.
Okay, that would be persuasion.
Okay. 18 plus 5, 23. Tell me everything.
She's a little bit taken aback at the fact that you didn't really call her a liar, but attempted to persuade her to tell you more than she was willing to. And it obviously rattles her a little bit that you didn't just take the basic story that everyone else so far has. It kind of goes, all right. I believe it may be connected to the events, not just with the individuals who came back, but around the same time that they returned, we experienced the first incursion of undead into our city in nearly 50 years. And I fear that the two might be connected.
I appreciate your honesty, and that is very good to know. We are still interested in this location, and if possible, we would like to help sort out this issue before we advise other nobles about this as a tourist site. Perhaps it would be best if we took a look into this matter.
It would be much appreciated, Lady Merith. If you are interested in pursuing the undead incursions, I would encourage you to speak with, let me look up his name. Paladin Calloway.
Unprofessional.
He would be the one who has been dealing with a lot of the aftermath of such incursions and has been assisting the guard in dealing with the problem.
I did not hear his name.
Paladin Calloway.
Calloway. Okay.
Yep.
I'm assuming spelled like Callaway, not any kind of special spelling or anything.
Caliway. Calloway.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No extra goofy name for him.
Cool. Just want to make sure.
Not yet.
He would be most likely found over at the Silver Flame altar, which, Lukas, you know, is one of the local temples. It's probably the largest of the local temples.
Alrighty. Hey, gang, I know how to get there.
Thank you.
I passed my land nav course.
You're also in your hometown, so
Exactly.
I would hope you'd be able to find the big church in your hometown.
Hey, sometimes when you're squatting in a hay pile, it's kind of hard to see things.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'd love to have a speak with this Paladin Calloway. I expect Ms. Lady Blackwatch does as well. Yes.
I do. Thank you very much, Lady Mayor, for your hospitality. I will look forward to exploring the city after we get some rest.
Very well. I shall have your rooms prepared for you. There will be a suite for the lady as well as a adjoining room for your servants, if that is acceptable.
That is very fine. Thank you.
If I may interject real quick, I apologize for the lack of clarity, but I am no servant. I am her advisor and head of security. The servants might be the other two, depending on your opinion, depending on your outlook on that. They're more local hires, if you will. Contracted aid. But I appreciate the your helpfulness nonetheless.
Absolutely. And she summons a couple of servants to take you up to your rooms. And it's one very nice diplomatic suite.
Cool. And it's free.
Pretty much what you'd expect. And one that is more of a servant's barracks. It's It's not a bad room, but it is not nearly as well suited for a diplomat or a lady of some station to stay in. But
Wood floors aren't stained. Got it.
yeah, it's probably better than any room Lukas has been staying in recently.
Probably.
And probably the same is true of Atrix.
Well,
There's a roof.
Any room where I can stretch my wings is pretty nice.
And it's a decent size still. But it is definitely more geared towards a servant's quarters rather than the lush accommodations of a head of state or a visiting noble of some kind.
Duly noted.
Yep. If I remember right, it's like mid-afternoon, so you guys still have some time. If you wanted to do anything else.
Did we want to go talk to Paladin Calloway?
I still kind of want, if we want to pool our money and get a bag of holding, that might also be a good idea.
I'm game if we want to do that.
Fine with me.
I would contribute.
Oh,
I'm not going to use my money for anything else.
Cool.
I can always appropriate more should I need to.
Alright, so we
I
are...
believe what you mean is liberate money.
Eh,
It depends
I
on
mean,
how a
yeah.
person says
People
money
aren't
works.
using it. I might as well put it to good use.
Anyway. So you're going to go pick up a bag of holding.
Mhm.
And are you going to go try and talk to Calloway today, or are you going to wait?
I would like to speak to Calloway today. I see
said-
no reason waiting.
Being from the familiar with any customs of the Silver Flame altar as far as visiting or anything like that.
No, it's a fairly simple church. It is
Okay.
a very widespread religion, but it is not... it is a very welcoming religion, so it is not super strict on its codes of...
So popping in is not necessarily offensive.
No.
Okay.
Oh, just to be sure, they don't have beef with tieflings, do they?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
And
I
then,
can wear a hood.
so
My wings can look like a cape.
she said that there were undead that had also appeared.
There was at
Are they
least
all-
one incursion of undead the same evening that the dagger appeared.
So were they all taken care of, or are there still some like kind of roaming around?
That would be a question for Calloway when you get to see him.
Cool.
So, which order are you doing this in? You gonna go get a bag first, or are you gonna go talk to Calloway first?
Which would be on the way as far as geographically.
Calloway would probably be closer.
All right.
Probably more polite to go to the church before it gets dark. So
True. Very true.
Of course, I would make that known to my compatriots.
Fair enough.
Cool. And it sounds like Calloway first.
Calloway first. Who knows? Maybe he'll have a bag of holding that we can liberate.
True. Maybe he'll give us one for free.
2 bags of holding. We've discussed this.
Anyway,
Continue.
you approach the Silver Flame altar, which is it's a cathedral, but it's not to the level of a true Gothic cathedral. It is still very well built, with elegant spires and the like. But it doesn't have the grandeur of like a true Gothic cathedral from our world. And you can see hanging from the front the banners with the silver tongue of flame that is the symbol of Raylar, the god of light and healing. There's not very many people around at the moment. It's not any kind of particular holy day or anything like that, so there's a few, just like in our world, the people that go to church basically every day just to pray. But apart from that, there is a woman near the front who is currently going through the process of lighting a set of candles. And she is wearing robes in the style that you might see for a priest or that sort of position. Again, with obvious motives of that tongue of silver flame. Turns as you walk in through the doors. Greetings. How might I help you?
We're here to speak with Paladin Calloway, if we might.
He goes, of course. I believe he's in his prayers at the moment, but I will be able to get him here in just a few moments if you'd like to take a rest here. And
Sure, we can rest a moment.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
And it's a nice cathedral. You can see plenty of pews for folks to sit in. There is an altar up at the front for ceremonies and a large flaming brazier that has an eternal flame going in it.
Be clear, are we talking like a magically permanent flame, or are we talking like they keep feeding this fire always?
It appears to be a flame with no fuel, so...
Okay, so the magically eternal flame.
Yeah.
Or they figured out propane.
Maybe. But yeah, it is a brazier with no fuel in it that is alight with a flame. And that's in addition to all the candles that are around lighting this space up. It is a few minutes before she returns, and following her is a gentleman that you all have actually seen before, just a few hours ago. Wearing the arming jacket with the sword at his hip. He was one of the three that was there when you first awoke. He kind of looks out and goes, "You three, or you four. Didn't expect you to stop by. Not that I'm disappointed. I just really wasn't expecting to see y'all. I kind of figured after you woke up you'd hightail it out of here based on whatever it is that led to you being in that predicament to begin with."
We're not exactly fans of not knowing our own past. It kind of sucks.
Oh.
It
Yeah.
hurts.
Also, yeah, there's a weird pain that comes with it. It's, we got to figure this out. Anywho.
That's understandable.
I imagine. Anywho.
Well, what can I
Mr.
do
Calloway.
for y'all?
There was an undead incursion the same night as dagger in the wall, or dagger in the front door. Anything you can tell us about that? Because allegedly that's related to the dagger, which is related to us, So all this big old mixing pot of unknown. We need as much of that unknown to become known, if you understand what I mean.
Nah, I'm following you.
I imagine.
Kind of looks for a minute and goes, it's the dangest thing. We haven't had an undead incursion into the city in over 50 years. You lot were brought back, and the day after, we don't even know how they got in. The walls were fine. There was no evidence of them going over. No tunnels that seemed to lead like they came under.
But you said this has happened before, just not in the past 50 years. Do you know anything about prior incidents?
According to the records here, they've always been essentially hordes that have smashed at the gates until they busted. This was a few small group that
More calculated.
certainly seems that way. It's got a lot of
Are there
folks
any
pretty
left?
scared. To be honest with you, I don't know. As far as I know, we got them all, but without knowing where they came from or how they got here, there's no way to be certain we got them all.
I don't suppose you know whereabouts, what direction they started to come into the city at.
Because I have an idea, but so far we haven't been able to find anything over there. Because when we found them initially, they were on the outskirts of the town center. The area near where the dagger was found, where y'all woke up in the irons. But it looked like they were headed into that direction rather than out. And I know
So it looked like they were heading away from the city then?
No, it looked like they were heading in towards the center, where you lot were in the irons and where that dagger was found. They weren't leaving the city. They were damned if trying to enter the center.
So, in your opinion, they wouldn't have left the dagger?
I doubt it. Though, whoever did leave that dagger may very well have been the one that let them in.
It might be worth checking out where about that direction. Do you have an idea of where they might have inserted at?
Do we have any reason to assume they necessarily did come from the Black City?
Nothing in particular on my end. Undead or undead.
So it sounds almost like they... If I had to guess, if there was no evidence of tampering with the doors or the walls, there's no way of getting under, and they didn't get over, they didn't go through, they started on this side, and they just moved their way closer in.
But if they came from this side, they'd have come from Willow's Rest. And I can't imagine Sister Nella would have... Well, to be honest, I doubt she would have survived, let alone not alerted us if that had been the case. Or the guard or somebody.
Sorry, did I miss it? Did you tell us what Willow's Rest was?
No, but Lukas would know that it is primarily a graveyard, though it does have a small shrine in it to the Raven Queen, and that would be where Sister Nuella is, primarily. She's the gravekeeper and the keeper of the shrine.
So they're most likely summoned from within the walls.
distinct possibility. But that leads to another issue.
Who summoned them?
Exactly.
I'm assuming you've checked the graveyards or any other undercroft type areas to look for any tampering or movement of dirt or what have you.
Like I said, I've been checking everywhere I can think of. Me, the guard. But I've honestly had my hands full dealing with enough frightened citizens of finding out there was a bunch of undead crawling around.
I can imagine. I admire your work, Paladin.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. You've been quite helpful. Have yourself a good day. Take care. And I'd like to roll an insight, if I may, real quick, on Mr. Paladin, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's 18. He was telling the truth the whole last time, right?
Yeah. As far as you can tell, he was being honest with you.
Just making sure. Kind of figured he would be. Paladin and all.
Yeah.
But, you know, you never know.
Yeah. And he does tell you the general area that he found them in.
Okay.
I'm assuming they'd have a donation box of some kind.
Yeah.
I would like to toss a silver piece in said donation box.
Remind me, because I've forgotten. Were we unconscious in the cell for 3 days, you said?
I believe that's right. I have it in my notes.
Some number of days more than one?
It was more than one.
Wasn't it 5 and then there's 3 days unaccounted for? Or was it 3 days in the cell
2
and
days
then
in the
5
cells,
days unaccounted for?
3 days travel from the Black City.
5 days in the cell, 3 days from the city?
Yep. And you're missing a total memory of about 2 weeks. So most of a week is accounted for, realistically, because it would have been the part you were unconscious for.
Mm-hmm. So that's actually the part we were unconscious for was a week, and then another 3 days for getting there. Leaves 5 days unaccounted for. Got it. Cool. All right. Which means we've got to speak with a Sister Nuella. If I may, kind Paladin, whereabout might we find this Sister Nuella?
And he would direct you to where the Willow's Rest is.
Is she always there? If we get there and perhaps she's not there, do we just wait for her to show up, or more accurately, come back at a more convenient time? Or is there somewhere we might find her otherwise?
Well, if she ain't there, I'd appreciate knowing, because it's usually our group that takes food out there so that she can stay in the shrine. And if she ain't there...
Oh, she stays in the shrine.
She usually stays out there in the shrine, taking care of the graveyard in the shrine.
All right,
if she ain't there, that means we have
problem, is what you're about to say, right?
It might be more than a problem. Because that means that whoever is potentially summoning undead just gained himself a whole mess of bodies. With no one to keep them there.
Okay. In that case, we definitely have to speak with a Sister Nuella and make sure she's alive and well.
And make sure she's actually her.
And she's about what she says she's about.
Yeah.
Paladin, just so our trip isn't wasted, can you give us a general description of the sister?
And he does. It's typically wearing dark robes with the emblem of the Raven Queen on them. So a raven with a scythe clasped in its talons. Hers tends to be a little bit extravagant. She has ruby eyes inset into the raven. Other than that, he describes a older woman. Hair not quite yet gray, but getting there. Dark brown
Duelist
eyes.
lady.
Mhm.
With the scythe from our memories.
Mhm.
She was an elf, right?
Mhm.
Did she have this raven scythe thingy on her anywhere?
It was the clasp that she was wearing.
Oh,
on her-
right. Thank you.
On her cloak.
I forgot that I put that in the notes. I didn't even think to look there. Thank you.
Awesome.
He
Did it
describes
also have rubies in the eyes?
the one that you remember from Lady Demi did not have rubies in its eyes.
All right.
It was much more simple.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go speak. Sister Nuella? Or are we going to get a bag of holding first?
The bag of holding would be closer.
Okay.
Because the graveyard
The
is near
bag.
the outskirts of the city, and the temple is near the temple you're currently at is near the town center, not quite in it but close, and the shop is just outside, in more like a shopping district.
Ooh, the bag.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Yep. Back to Alice's.
Mm-hmm. Back to Alice's third time today.
We're
Yeah,
back.
Like you said, man, loyal customers.
Apparently,
We're the
way
most
more loyal than you thought you were going to be after the first time. You enter Alice's once again, and
Yo, girl, we're back.
are
Did you
greeted
miss
by
us,
a
Alice?
slightly confused-looking Alice. You're like, "Did
Don't
you
worry, we're just
mention
indecisive.
something else." It's rather peculiar for folks to visit me 3 times in one day.
It's because you're wonderful.
Well, I
Alice,
know
we just
that,
love you so
darling.
much.
We just like your stuff.
And he is the most honest one among you, I see. What are you interested in today? Well, I should say
One
this afternoon, since it seems that you're going to visit me at all hours of the day.
By the way,
one
what are
bag
your
of holding, please.
Bag of holding?
Yes, if you got one,
And
be
she
much
does.
appreciated.
I believe I told you all last week that it was about 250 gold. I'm looking to see if I wrote it down at all.
I think that's what you said.
If we did this right, we could probably get to.
250 gold.
Let's see. I have a total of 98 gold coins. If I put all my copper and silver together, and my gold I already have, I have 98.
All right. Supposing we want to split it evenly, that is 50 plus a quarter of 25, which is half of 12 and a half. I'm sorry, half of 25. So what is that? 62 and a half gold per person.
There goes
Yep.
my brain again.
I use a calculator because I'm dumb.
Was I right or wrong?
You were right. You were spot on.
Hell yeah.
Good job.
Oh, my math is not that reliable. I was hoping I was lowballing it, and Joey would just accept it. But you know what? I'm cool with getting the right number as well.
Speaking of lowballing, does Alice seem like a haggling type?
I believe you guys tried that last time and it didn't go well for you.
Yeah, I'm
Nice,
pretty sure
right?
we already
Last time we
just
just
did
Trying
that.
it again in the same day is probably not going to work again. Because it was hard the
That would be
first
really-
time, and it's going to be harder to do it the second time.
I'm assuming this bag of holding isn't in an open area. It'd probably be in her
And no, this is
back
definitely
room or
in-
something.
It's visible, but it is in like a locked cabinet. As you notice, most of the stuff
Anyone
that's-
able to tell if it's magically locked?
most of the stuff that's out and about is cheap trinkety stuff like we talked about last week or last time.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of magic to it, but it's kind of useful.
Touristy.
But it's touristy.
Like our ammo.
Yeah.
But anything that is of actual like real significance, she has locked up.
As now I'm kind of curious what her store hours are, and perception checks make me wanna. I want to roll some perception checks to see any security measures.
Alright.
I am
I won't do that now.
more than ready to just drop us the money for it.
I'm willing to just buy the bag.
I would
not
probably see the
destroy our relationship
I
with the
promise
one next
loyal
friend.
customership to her. I feel like I'm happy
Look,
by that.
all right, I can be a loyal customer. I don't have to be a loyal paying customer.
So what are y'all doing?
We're buying
I've
it.
already
I would
removed-
go along with the rest of the squad,
We're gonna pay money for goods.
and I will absolutely pay the rounded price, so nobody else has to.
Alright.
So that's what 60,
62 and a half.
62 and a half per person.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which is 62
Yes.
gold, 5 silver.
Yeah.
Or 1 electrum if you got it.
I'll do 62 gold. And
So
Oddly enough, on all of the
2,
random tables,
3.
there is
4.
nowhere to roll for Electrum.
So I'll pay 63 gold to accommodate for the halves. Or
that would only be
Yeah.
yours
No, no.
and one other person's half.
Don't worry about covering anyone's half. Just put in your 5 silver.
fine. Jesus.
Alright. You
Alright.
hand her some money. You hand her a lot of money. And she unlocks and removes from the cabinet a bag of holding. And then turns to look at the four of you and goes, "And who will be taking possession of this?"
Wait, is it off of does it go off of strength then?
No, it's a bag that
It's just a-
magically makes everything in it weigh like 5 pounds. It's like
So
the
who-
bag
Who do we wanna
would
carry
never
this
weigh
stuff?
more than like
I
5
got it.
pounds.
I'll take it. I'll take the fucking.
I would step away knowing my tendencies.
I'll take
Yeah,
the
no,
fucking bag.
He's not taking it. You could take it.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
I'll hold it if you need a house ransacked.
Then she hands it over to Hadrien.
Right.
And you get to add to your character sheet 1 bag of holding. And everybody gets to cross off a significant portion of gold.
3 bags of holding. Got it.
3.
Don't worry about it. I'm getting
Remember
rid of
that I can edit your character sheet too.
them. I know. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of them because I screwed up, man. Delete. Got it. Found it.
Alright. So you now have a bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okie dokie.
were you going to try and buy anything else in here? Because I think you guys bought some potions already today. You bought a bag of holding.
Yeah, I already bought my potion.
There's some
That I
trinkety
wanted.
stuff and a few decent things. But most of the decent stuff is going to be in the price range of that bag of holding or more expensive.
Yeah, I think
I'm
we're
broke.
all purchased out.
I'm broke.
Just a wee bit.
All right.
All right. So,
Hadrien, if I may, as I hold out a dagger, one of my spares, you may wish to put that in there.
I might. Okay. I mean, I don't really care, but sure, I'll put it in there.
I find a backup to be a very good thing to keep.
So can I so I still have a chest. Can I essentially put my entire chest into the bag?
I mean, you could. That chest is, like I said, most likely sitting with the innkeeper.
Right. Once we
Yeah.
get there, I can just.
And for all intents and purposes, it's just a normal dagger.
Cool.
Sweet.
So when we go back to that inn, we can grab your chest and Merith's chest.
Would like to recover my chest.
It would be nice.
So we got chest. We got Sister Nuella.
Mhm.
Anything else on the agenda?
Not that you've told me about.
Cool. All right.
Just the overall investigation of Willow's Rest.
Yeah.
Cool. So, which is closer?
Probably the inn.
Cool. Let's check out the inn real quick.
You guys
Go to the inn, get squared away.
visiting just about everywhere you've been yet earlier today.
We're
Yep.
making friends. You gotta
Yeah, I feel
make
like there's
good
a lot
second
of
impression.
retracing our steps.
It's
Nope.
really about the second and third impression that makes the difference. It's not. You don't have to worry about the first impression.
It's making sure people see your face and think you were there before you start doing roguish things.
Anyway,
Anyway, let's.
you head
Let's.
back to the Shattered Blade.
Yep. Just to go grab those two chests.
So I can essentially just equip the chest.
You want to put it in the bag?
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Alright.
if you equip it, it's going to add it to your weight that you're carrying.
I'm go ahead and just. Oh shoot! Is there an easy way to move your stuff to my stuff?
I doubt it.
I'll just keep track of because it's all
For
split
now,
up
we'll
in
just,
my chest, so I'll just keep track of it of what.
We'll just say it's in the bag of holding and not worry about it.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
for
we can-
Merith's chest.
we can
Yeah,
talk
I'm
about-
just gonna take all of the stuff that doesn't weigh anything out, and I'm gonna have that with me.
Put
Yeah.
that in your backpack.
And then I just give you the chest.
And I can move that stuff around on your character sheets later, not in the middle of this session.
Nice.
You don't want me being obnoxious over here? Okay.
Well, if you want to move it around now, it's going to take a while, and I doubt
Yeah.
anybody wants to watch that. And
No.
Anybody?
off
You mean
stream
just Sean?
so that means you guys are now headed to Willow's Rest.
Yes.
Right.
All right. It is a gated-in graveyard with several willow trees growing in it, hence the name. And there is a relatively small shrine you can see kind of in the center of it. Nothing grand or extravagant. It's also probably getting late afternoon, early evening at this point, so with the running around and talking that you guys have done. But the graveyard isn't closed yet. The gates are still open.
I say we check out that shrine.
Before we go in, can I just like hold my flask of holy water in my hand just to as a uh free allocation just in case, to toss on her?
You're gonna toss holy water on a holy person, all right?
Just a drop. Just a drop.
He's holding his action.
Sure.
I'd like to
Cool.
ready an action to put a little drop of holy water on the priestess just to make sure she's legit.
All right. All right. But yeah, this is a small shrine. It's entirely constructed out of wood, rather than anything like the silver altar that you guys have been to already. It's small, one-story building. Probably has maybe 2-3 rooms in it from what you can see on the outside.
Door opened or closed?
Door appears closed.
All right. So we knock.
All right.
Wait. Before I knock, Nuella's not just outside somewhere, is she? She's like in the shrine, right?
You don't see her in the graveyard, if that's what you're asking. No.
Okay, cool. I don't want to look like a jackass and be like, "There's." She's right over there, but knocking on her door.
I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't be the first time that's happened, but no.
All right, cool. Then I knock.
All right. You knock, and it's a few moments later. You hear an older woman's voice come from inside. Just a moment, and a couple of moments later, the door creaks open, and this is more like a single door. Nothing, again, no big double doors like you would have seen on the Silver Flame altar. Sorry, I'm making sure that whatever text I just got was not terribly important. Okay. Because people don't usually text me at 9 o'clock at night. But it's a single door, and it just creaks open. And there is the woman that was described to you by Calloway. Older woman, hair starting to gray, but not quite. Dark robes, adorned with some symbolism of ravens, and around her neck is the holy symbol he described, the raven with ruby eyes, clutching a scythe in its talons. And Atrix sprays her with holy water. All right. Apart from getting wet, nothing appears to happen. She kind of goes,
Cool.
was there a purpose for that?
Just making sure that you are who you are, okay? Just wanted to make sure, get that out of the way.
I've never met you before in my life. How would you know if I am who I am?
Listen, I've heard some crazy stuff going on around this city. I just wanted to get the worst out of the way first.
I apologize for the behavior of my escort. We are a bit on edge due to the recent events in town.
Again, we know that second and third impressions matter more.
You are traveling with a rather strange individual.
We try our best.
Hadrien is responding to this scenario exactly as Kian is. It's kind of like a little bit of facepalm, a little bit of laugh.
But yes, there was noticeably nothing that happened when you splashed Sister Nuella with holy water.
All right, she's not a demon.
Nope.
Sister Nuella, I presume.
Yes, and who might you be?
I'm Lucas. Atrix here is the one who
The strange one, yes.
splashed you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hadrien and Merith. We've been investigating happenings around, particularly with undead. The Paladin Calloway told us about the area a little bit and what had been happening, so we're just kind of further investigating everything that's been going on.
Yes, troublesome business that. Troublesome.
What do you happen to know about it?
Especially the incursion, the recent incursion, about 5 days ago.
Yes. It wasn't 5 days ago, but it was a day or two before that I noticed several graves had been disturbed here. I didn't think too much of it at the time. Nothing appeared to be taken, it was just disturbed slightly. I'm familiar with how most of it is supposed to look, and it was just... It was
Turned
off.
soil, or what are you talking about?
Nothing so drastic. It didn't look like any... Like I said, it didn't look like anything had been removed. But headstones that were slightly askew. Branches that were laid over graves in peculiar patterns. Not the way that nature would have them fall, but more the way that someone might. If it was laying a bouquet, but tree branches. Not branches from the willows here, either. It was
So
just
someone
peculiar.
Anything local?
decorate the graves with?
It seemed as though someone had moved and decorated several graves. Like, moved the tombstones and decorated several graves. It was bizarre. Though, like I said, the soil seemed fine, and after the incursion, the soil still seemed fine.
Is there any check I can roll to see if I know anything? Like, nope, never mind. I'm gonna say Adrien does not actually know anything about this stuff. That's me asking if Adrien might know something Kian knows. Adrien does not.
Fair.
Can I check Sister Noella's honesty?
Yeah, roll your
And-
insight.
Okay. Insight. Nat 20.
Alright. As far as you can tell, she is being genuine.
Cool.
It was nothing that she felt the need to raise alarm about, but it was weird.
And if I may, did you happen to know we've heard that that the incursion and the dagger in the the Lady Mayor's front door, as well as those few who came out of the Black City, allegedly are all related somehow, and we're interested. We were talking around, and there was one person who's mentioned who seemed to have a similar amulet about her neck, as well as an amulet similar to yours about her neck, who wielded, I believe, a scythe. Did you perchance know her, or do you know anything about her?
When you say that, she kind of looks at you for a moment and goes, "You saw one of the Queen's children."
I mean, she didn't really dress like a royal, but yeah, I guess they called her lady. I didn't
No,
take you for someone up on the monarchy.
no, the Raven Queen's children.
Didn't know she had kids.
That's often how those of us who honor the Raven Queen refer to the Reapers.
What you mean, like the skeleton people who walk around and they kill you? Those people who they take your souls?
Like Death himself kind of thing?
Nothing so extravagant. The Reapers are individuals who the Raven Queen has granted specific abilities to ensure that the cycle of death and life is complete appropriately. They are mortals just like you or I or any other, but they gain some very specific benefits, as well as the Queen's utter hatred for all things undead, as they are a mockery of what life and death are supposed to be. You've seen one. This is...
Whoa, 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 whoa. I did not say I saw one. I said we heard about one.
This is... Well, that is better than having seen one. But...
Is it?
If that is the case, then I fear for what is happening in the area nearby. For Reapers are only called by the lady to areas where death is imminent. And unfortunately, this is not the first rumor I have heard of one of the Queen's children passing through this area.
If it's happened before, then surely it's not a big issue that it's happening again.
No, you misunderstand. One or two every once in a while going to the Black City is understandable. It is an area of undeath. But over the last few months, I've heard rumors of 4 or 5. This would be the 6th. Those numbers are not...
Do the Reapers come out? Or do the Reapers usually come out of the Black City? Or do they, like everyone else, stay there?
The Reapers have never returned from the city, to my knowledge. But they go to the city. It is disconcerting that so many would potentially be going at the same time. As gatherings of Reapers are a very ill omen.
We've got excess Reapers in the area in a relatively short amount of time.
And undead.
Mm-hmm.
And undead. These other Reapers, were they... How recent?
Like I said, it's been rumors I've been hearing over the last couple of months. It is
just months, not years.
Months.
Okay.
Years would still be disconcerting, but months is very worrying. It may very well foretell of some great disaster about to take place nearby.
Your knowledge has something like this happened before? Ages before?
In ages past, yes. But to my knowledge, a gathering of reapers like this hasn't happened in quite a long time.
What has the history of their gathering shown us?
War, death, plague.
Just straight up. Okay. Great. That's
They send
gives me
the
a warm
souls
fuzzy feeling.
of those who are departed to the queen to prevent undead.
So we're most likely in danger.
A lot of it. But let's go talk. It's been great meeting you, Sister Nuella. Have the best time. Do you take donations? I'd like to give you a little donation.
It would be appreciated. We
I'll give
use them
you-
to cover the funerals of those who pass and are unable to afford such niceties.
Sorry about the holy water again. Just
Your
Have a
apology is
gold.
accepted, strange one.
I would have
Have
just
a
passed it
gold.
off as custom.
All right, if I may, where are we headed next? We headed back. About what time is it? Is it getting to evening?
It would be
yeah, I feel like it's
early evening at this point.
All right, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm still pretty hungry. I think it's probably a solid idea to see about maybe grabbing some dinner, heading back home, maybe home, back to the beacon. Hey, maybe the beacon's got dinner for us. Who knows?
discussing what we already know.
I've got some bread loaves if we want to just eat on the road.
You stole so much bread. Well,
So
Look.
much bread.
well, yeah, because I think every time you finished a sentence, you're just like, and I put another loaf of bread into my bag.
Absolutely.
In my pocket.
I live rough.
That one.
Gotta keep it. Take a bite, save a bite.
Alright, so you guys are heading somewhere to get dinner, or are you heading back to the beacon?
I would imagine she might have food for us there. If we're going back to the.
Say beacon. She's probably going to provide, at the very least, for Merith.
It probably will provide for me.
And
I can share some once she's out of the room, and you can
Bread.
supplement with your bread. Assuming she doesn't provide food for everybody.
I will be a little just enough of a thorn in her side to like nudge her. Listen, I'm not just some nobody. I am her most trusted advisor, kind of a deal. And wedge my way. We can get 2 meals, and then when she leaves, we can split them.
Out of raw curiosity, would a stealth check of 24 total be enough to sneak food from the kitchen or something like that?
Probably.
That's going to be my course of action. I will absolutely reroll if you would like me to. Of course, I wouldn't be taking anything extravagant. Again, mostly breads or whatever the cheapest meats of the area would be.
Fair.
Things you
Anything
can
like
keep.
that. I just kind of eat them like a rat in my room.
There is food back for you.
Assuming she doesn't provide for all of
I was
us.
gonna say there's.
I'm not just gonna go
Yeah.
steal food.
I assumed you weren't gonna go steal food if there was food for you. She did agree to give you guys accommodations, so there is food for all of you. There is definitely one meal that's nicer than everybody else's that is waiting for Lady Merith, but there is food for everybody, and it's not, cheap food. It's good food. It's just one is definitely done up in a more extravagant style, and the rest is slapped on a plate and given to the three of you.
If you want some extra bread, let me know.
I'll take anything. I'm fucking starving, dude.
Bro, you need just ask.
I'd love a loaf. Oh my god. This is the second meal in 5 days. I'm dying.
I'll give you a half of one a loaf. I think I managed to stick 2 in there.
Fine, I'll take it.
Alright. So you guys are sitting, eating your supper.
If I may.
And slightly stale bread.
Missed dinner or whatever it is, and we're just kind of eating the leftovers, essentially.
Pretty much.
Right. Because I assume that if we had made it in time, she would want Merith at the table, at the designated,
It would be
Is this a
late
correct
enough at this point that dinner is probably would have been over a while ago. But there was food. It was kept warm for Merith, and since it was kept warm for Merith, they kept the rest of yours warm too.
Cool.
All right, so we're sitting eating.
These are the important things when you're adventuring.
In what room? Like, are we in our rooms? Are we? Is there like?
You could have asked for it to be brought up to you, or you could have ate in the main room, the main dining area.
Merith would want to eat in her suite, I think.
Okay. Then servants would
I
bring up
think,
your. I was going to say, bring up your food for you.
Mm-hmm. I think Hadrien trying to establish that he is closer to the level of Merith than these guys seem to be giving him credit for. Like, right-hand man close kind of a situation is doing exactly what she's doing.
Okay. The rest of you taking your meals up in your room, or are you eating in the dining area?
In my room. Or in our room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have some privacy up.
Keep the communication close.
Up in the two rooms.
Sometime tomorrow, I would like to roll persuasion to see if my essentially passive-aggressive gestures of, guys, I'm number 2. Like, I'm not servant. I'm not even on the number list. I am number 2. Treat me a little better. Obviously, eating dinner with Merith is not the same thing as, a couple passive aggressivities. But I would at some point like to do something like that. Just to see how that turns out.
Fair enough.
Or if you want to give it to me, I don't really care about the role. I just like to make sure that we're clear. That's where this conversation is going to go.
Fair enough. What's everybody else doing? Other than eating?
Just making sure my stuff's where it needs to be.
I could do a kind of like look around the room, see if there's any chests with leftover items in it.
Go ahead and roll your investigation.
Investigation.
Mhm.
Oh God, it's a 4.
You find nothing of any interest.
Cool.
Is there a window in either room?
There would definitely be one in Merith's. There's
Even a small
probably
one at that?
in yours.
They're adjoining, right?
Mhm. So long as Merith has kept her side of the door open, you could walk between both rooms.
I would be naturally drawn to the window. So
Alrighty.
Okay. And I would like to start the discussions then about what we've learned today.
very good.
Guys, listen,
Well-
here's the deal. A little bit of conflict of interest here. On the one hand, I cannot abide not knowing stuff. Because everything I don't know is something someone else might know, and that is leverage they got on me. Can't have that. On the other hand, staying here kind of sounds like dying. The whole point of knowing stuff is to prevent dying. Like that's the extent of it. Not dying because you know things that other people don't know, and they can't touch you because of that. That's the object. That's how this works. So we're stuck right now. There's a rock and there's a hard place, and we're right fucking there. And that is his spiel. That's where he's at.
All right.
Yeah, because where we're at, we have
We've got undead on one side,
undead and an assassin trying to kill us.
potentially.
Well, trying to kill us, or it seems trying to bring us back into the Black City because we belong there now forever.
Right.
And truth be told, if we can go in and survive and just live there, I'm down. Because that's not dying. But odds of that working are astronomically low. We're not going to be able. They're so close to zero. There's no reason to distinguish between them and zero. So,
If we can verify
enough.
that it's an asymptote, I'll take it.
listen, I'm not a wizard. I don't know what fucking arcane ass word asymptote is.
Asymptote is a mathematical term.
I can't know what asymptote is.
Okay.
But Hadrien is not an algebra or a calculus guy. He is
Very well.
very
practical security agent.
Yeah.
Listen,
Anyway.
my brain hurt when I tried to remember something, so don't even.
All right. So I think we should establish our courses of action at this point.
For the next day, what
We could always do a little more investigation. Try to figure out, where these undead came from. Figure out what threat they truly pose. We talked about the Reapers, so on and so forth. Death imminent. Okay, cool. Again, we still don't know where our dwarf friend is, and the other two that were with us. We're still trying to account perfectly for some days and figure out.
I'm pretty sure I know where our dwarf friend.
WTF happened in the Black City. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly where they're at, the Black City.
So should we go
Right.
back there then?
that's 2 of our 3 birds, allegedly.
You cannot.
More than
fathom.
likely, we go back there. We're gonna be fighting something off, whether it's the undead, the death, or anything else that could happen in that city.
Just
I don't know
we're
if anyone else
always
is.
fighting off death. Like that's just part of being an alive person.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone else has any desire to take a moralistic approach, but I would think
Nope.
it would be best to assess the preparedness of the city in case of another undead incursion with the paladin and maybe the guard. Just see if they're all right with something similar or something slightly greater, and we can make our decision from there. If they're well enough prepared, we might consider going back to hang on. Thinking about Herschel, Shadow Branch, or if they're not, we may want to help them prepare or see if we can do anything about finding an origin at the very least of said undead.
'Cause, I mean, there could be another invasion the next day too, so
Right.
All right, so. Well, however, to be clear, this invasion seemed like something that the town pretty easily handled. Like, it was a small group of undead that they have a whole ass paladin and a whole ass priestess who's probably pretty good with undead, all things considered. Plus, they got like a shit ton of reapers, and I don't like. Apparently, they're the right hand of the anti-undead god.
My biggest. Yeah, sorry.
So it just kind of sounds like invasions, not a big concern. Opinion, town's preparedness, not a concern at all. Literally couldn't care less. No shit skipping. I kind of like Alice. Her preparedness, however, she's got like a whole ass magic shop. I think she's cool. I think she's covered. Not sure about her employees. Not interested. The thing is, there's also shit going on. Like, we know shit's going on in the Black City, right?
Yes.
There's got to be some shit in the Black City. Not like shit going on, but like something in the Black City worth going in for. Because, come on. We were guaranteed to die when we went in, and we went in anyway.
And we
Right.
survived.
So there's got to be something. And like, you may have picked up on it by now, but I am super not about dying. So not into that shit. So if I went into the Black City, there's got to be something really worth it.
Right.
So I'm
Then it's
like,
settled.
I
We're
really
all
don't
going to
want to
Black
go,
City.
but I think we have to.
Well, on top of that, and kind of to compound both the points, my biggest concern is with the fact that this last incursion was more of a surgical strike team of undead, for whatever you can consider that, as opposed to the previous brute force invasion that they've had. Said incursion happened after we got there, or right as we were getting there, just prior, just as, what have you, in close enough proximity time-wise, that with the combination of everything, we're clearly the targets, as we've kind of established. Or something related to us is the targets of said incursion. So,
Which, instead of them coming to us and trying to kill us, let's go to them.
right, that's our face value. Do we go to the Black City and face what attempted to slaughter us or capture us or what have you, or do we do some more reconnoitering and
I'd say we'd be more proactive and just go straight in, head first.
Lukas is no stranger to a fight, but he also
Hate
likes
this
his
plan.
intel.
I don't think we have a choice, though. Fuck this. All right.
All right, get your rest then.
If it gives you any courage, we did come out of that city the first time with an incredible quantity of money, considering we don't know how we got any of it. So I have high hopes for our next excursion.
We also
We
don't
already
necessarily know
made it
how
out
we
once.
got out.
That doesn't matter.
Working.
We made it out.
To be fair, I don't think we knew how we were going to get out when we went in last time.
True,
Doesn't
but
matter.
to be
got
I mean,
out.
we still made it out. We still made it out. So we
That
can
we
just
got
go
out.
back in and make it out again.
I'm inclined
That
to
we got
agree
out.
with
The only
Hadrien.
reason I have
at
not
this
given
point.
y'all the double bird and just left. That we made it out once is the only reason I'm even considering this idea. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, let's do this. Let's fucking do this. Good night, bitches.
Rock, paper,
I'm gonna
scissors.
sleep on that And
Night.
in the morning, I'm going to tell you that I still hate the plan and that we still have no choice. All right, let's go.
Is it a decent night out?
Oh, heck. We got a technical issue.
Nope,
There we go.
it's fixed.
I have returned.
You
Oh,
never
so
left
we
on our
fixed.
end.
It was all of you at the same time.
Weird.
Oh, great.
However, I did just lose my train of thought. I was going to do something, and now I don't remember what it was.
Probably for the best. For us.
Potentially.
I don't know, because I started fiddling with my computer, and then I saw Ellie post that she couldn't hear us, and my brain derailed whatever it was working on.
And it's settled. We're going to the Black City.
If it's a right proper night out, and
That's
I
what I
can
was checking.
reasonably infer,
Checking what the weather was.
yeah, and I can reasonably infer it's not going to be terrible weather in the morning, I'd like to climb out the window and go as far up as I can and sleep there.
Okay.
You know it's
What?
probably going to get cold out
Get you
tonight.
this
'Cause it
nice sweet.
Today was the first day of spring, so it's still pretty chilly out. Like, it maybe got up into the 50s during the day, so you know it's going to be cold. Apart from that,
Okay.
it's partly cloudy, but it doesn't look like rain.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to sleep on my whatever passes for a bed for servants.
Floor.
I mean, it's better than the floor. You have, like...
It's a
nice,
good floor.
But
Okay, I am going to wait until they sleep and sneak out of my room, or out of the collective room that I was delegated to, even though I'm number 2.
yes, you're shit, according to everybody else.
You. Fuck you too, Joey.
Anyway, you were
and
saying?
I am going to look for... So, Lady Mare seems to be the kind of person who wants to have all of the information regarding the Black City and not actually care about any of it, only use the parts that she can turn a profit on. So I want to look for 2 things. First, I want to see if I can find information about her plans, because if her plans to turn this into a tourist attraction look like something that are going to turn big profits, I'd like to invest a little bit to turn some profits. 2, I'd like to find out if there's any information she had access to, but straight up just didn't care about as it pertains to the Black City. Anything about us, anything about other people who've gone in, any patterns of the undead, anything.
Okay. You looking anywhere in particular, or are you just randomly wandering
I
through?
am going to try and find, like, her office, or her I assume she has an advisor, like her advisor's office, or something like that.
Okay.
Or I'll search all of these places for all the information, assuming they all exist.
We're gonna do some investigation checks then,
Okay.
because I can't think of
So,
a better one. Because survival wouldn't be navigate through a building. It would be navigate through just about everything else, but not a building.
oh, this is just to find the rooms.
We're gonna do 1 to find where you're looking for, and then we'll do a couple for each room to see if you find the specific things you're looking for.
Okay. And just to be clear, I'm not just waiting for my compatriots to fall asleep. I am waiting to the wee hours of the night
I
so
assumed.
that,
Yep.
ideally no one's out and about to find me. That's some suspicious ass behavior. That's a 12 on my first investigate check.
Okay. That would be enough to locate where the offices are. It's not particularly hard. The building is laid out like a manor house, or sort of like a manor mixed with like a mage's tower. So.
Oh, I'd also like to know if she's a wizard or like a mage,
Gotcha.
Magically inclined.
because I'm picking up on some of this. So what am I doing for?
Which office did you want to look through first? You found an assistant's office
Let's
and
start with
her office.
hers.
Okay.
All right.
Roll your investigation.
Another 12.
Okay. It's enough to find. It's enough to find a basic outline of her plans. It's fairly similar to what she told you, though. If
Just
she
lookout
has
points.
some lookout points, if she can find a way to do it safely, she wants to do more like a guided tour through Hope Falls, following the history of how it got established. She wants to do, and has had several notes from the lieutenant very much dismissing the idea of doing some kind of go out to the outskirts of the Black City area thing. And like I said, there are notes from the lieutenant that she has obviously talked to about that at one point that are just like, do not do that. It is too dangerous for a bunch of nobodies to try and navigate out to that area.
I'll do it.
Well, keep in mind that these aren't trained in anything people that she's talking about taking there. All of you have more training than every single person she's talking about taking out there, except maybe the couple of guards to go with them. But the lookout points are definitely on there, as well as a few things for tours. She has a couple of notes about building some basically theme taverns around the idea of what the Black City would have been like during its heyday. Like, it's the ravings of someone who wants a tourist trap. Like, it very much is the ravings of someone who wants a tourist trap. Does it seem like it would produce profits? Probably. Do you think they're going to be outrageously big? Probably not. Unless she does get some support from, like, the Amethyst King or
Big boy.
some big boy that says it's cool.
Mm.
So her trying to sell Lady Merith on it makes a lot of sense. Because if she can get the Lady of Blackwatch to actually show up here, and not her daughter, the actual Lady of Blackwatch. That would be a huge boon.
Okay, so tell Merith, promise to give good marks about this place. Don't actually do it. Not worth the investment. Got it.
You have to write that down.
No,
Notes,
I just had to
people,
go.
notes.
I didn't actually write that down. I wrote down what her plans were.
Okay.
But yeah.
So
Information about the Black City, if she has any here in the office, she's either got it locked away or hidden.
hidden somewhere. I didn't find it.
Yeah.
Got it. So next is the assistant's office.
Yep.
If it's honestly, it's more likely that she'd have him have all the nitty gritty stuff and just give her the Cliff's notes
Fair enough.
that she can use.
Yep.
for money.
Go ahead and roll your investigation.
That's a third consecutive 12.
12.
What do you know? I know 12. Just the number 12.
Just enough to be a problem.
You do find some information here. It's not much more than you already knew. It does mention the potential that there have been sightings of people that are suspected to be Reapers, but there's been no confirmation. Other than that, it mentions that any previous expedition before you came back has failed. A lot of them because as they got closer to the Black City lashed out and they just turned around. Because, as she told you the other day, the Black City is known for having a lot of severe weather around it, as well as occasional arcane weather around it. This has stopped a lot of expeditions who are not properly prepared and just caused them to turn back. The ones that have made it to the city and actually tried to enter it, most of them are never heard from again. If they find anything from it, it's corpses that are on the outskirts of the city.
All right. The other thing I mentioned was my last thing I was going to check out.
I don't know. Those were the two you told me.
Could have sworn there was something else. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, if she was a wizard or not.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Could we put that in with when I was in her office because we just forgot to talk about it then? Or you're going to make me go back to that?
That would be fair.
Okay.
With a 12, there's definitely some arcane stuff in here, but most of it looks dusty. Like it hasn't been touched in quite a while.
She's a collector, not a practitioner. That's what I'm hearing.
The building, the beacon, looks old. So it's not something she had built.
Okay. Makes sense.
So she might have some magic talent, but is she a practicing wizard of any kind? Most likely not.
So hearing that she took from the city. Anything about her having taken anything? Any other complaints about stuff she took? And in this case, I'm actually going to say, oh, never mind, nothing. Any complaints about what she may have taken? Because specifically it said return what you took, which implies she had a hand in us being here, even though we were never at her house. Is that another roll, or is that
one? I'll
just
have you
the
make
12
another
again?
roll for, because that's something entirely different. Let me guess.
That's an
12.
11. No, it's an 11. Would be a 12 if you want it to be.
You're on a roll, aren't you?
No, that it's enough. You're looking around and you've looked through a bunch of different papers that she had. The only thing that kind of sticks out as you're looking through stuff is there is no mention of that note in any of the paperwork you found in here.
No letters concerning it, no nothing.
Doesn't look like she had anything written down about it at all. Not even like a dude that freaked me out.
Did I find her diary or something? Where would she write, dude, that freaked me out?
Like I said, there's literally no mention of it in here at all. In everything you found.
That means something. Kian is not smart enough to put together what that means, but that definitely means something.
Maybe.
All right. I am going to return to Merith's room and report the intentions for to exploit her wanting us to invest in her and us to promote her to other nobles, but also to tell her, don't worry about it. It's not going to return enough profit to be worth it.
Alrighty.
And then I think I'm going to hit the hay.
All right. Was there anyone else who wanted to have some midnight excursions? No?
No.
I was looking at the report on my screen. I missed whatever that was.
I actually like sleep, so I'm just
I don't have
Testing your longbow damage.
that was a misclick.
Mm-hmm. He shot himself in the foot.
I just woke up
Don't do
like
that, it hurts.
just sleep Boeing just
Canon.
I don't need to worry about sleep. I didn't take 1 psychic damage from remembering something.
Right. That's the other thing. Technically, you would
Yeah.
recover that, assuming it's a
Yeah. It was
decent rest.
representative more of the strain of remembering it than physical damage. And I've talked with, I think, all of you about that once before, that when I do damage, it's the exertion and expansion of luck and that in combat rather than physically actually taking hits. Just because of the fact that if you physically took the amount of damage that a lot of D&D characters take, you'd be dead about 10 times over. Because...
Per combat.
Yeah.
Well,
because there's only so many times you can be run through
Hadrien's
with a
case
sword,
would be 12.
and the answer is once. Despite the fact that there are plenty of D&D characters that get described as having a sword run through them and only taking 12 hit points worth of damage at, 8th level where they have 20, 30, 40 hit points. It's like, how many times can I actually just be run through with a sword? In reality, the answer is once.
Elden Ring.
So, when I've described hit point damage, it is the physical strain and the mental strain of combat, not physical actual damage. Physical damage comes when you go unconscious. So, this would be the mental strain of having a memory seemingly magically or very painfully in some way struck back into your head. Short answer is it hurt. It just hurt you a little worse than everybody else.
He got a migraine.
Basically, everyone else got a brief headache, and he got an actual migraine.
I'm special.
Alright. Look at my notes.
I thought you said nose, and I was quite concerned.
No. Notes, not nose. My nose is right here. It is already visible to all of you.
But is it visible to you?
Yes, because I am looking at myself on the monitor. So everybody's nose is currently visible to me. Including Dusty, who appeared to be shoving his finger up his. It. Let me. This is what I was looking up. I remember what I was doing now. I know I had to check my notes for something. I just didn't remember what it was.
Check notes.
Yes. Well, if I don't check my notes, what happens is rocks fall and everybody dies, and then I don't have to do this anymore.
As long as it's only in the game.
Okay. It's pretty late, getting close to morning time, when Merith and Lukas both hear a commotion starting outside. That's what I was looking up. I couldn't remember what y'all's passive perceptions were.
Kind of forgot they were a thing.
Yeah. I knew I had it written down. I just had to find where I put it. Otherwise, I was just going to start looking at your character sheets until I found them all.
All right. Loud commotion. Can I discern anything from it?
We're outside.
It is outside. It is at least ground level.
We're what, second story?
You guys would be on the second story.
I'd like to look out the window.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your perception with disadvantage because it is still dark outside.
Just to be clear, this noise woke them up, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the rest of the other two of us are
The other
asleep.
two of you
right
are
now.
still asleep.
Distance to target area. Beyond 60 feet or within?
It's going to be close.
I've got dark vision.
I was
Do I
gonna
still
say-
take disadvantage?
You technically do, but you don't have as bad of a time seeing. Because
Okay.
both of you should technically have dark vision, because I believe half-elves also have dark vision. If you didn't have dark vision, you would just see black.
7.
How does disadvantage work?
Roll 2 d20s, and you take the lower of the two results. Yes. Darkness 6.
Okay, 5.
You can't see anything from your current vantage point. You can tell that it's on ground level just from the basics of what you can hear. But as you are looking out the window, even with your super low rolls, while you can't see anything in the space that you would be able to see, you do see a flash of light a ways off in the distance. Still within the city, but
Okay.
a block or two away.
I'm assuming this wouldn't be something, as a native to the area, I would have seen before. I'm assuming it's totally new, non-natural.
You might have seen something like this on one of your patrols out to the Black City. Because it looks like a spell fire.
Okay.
And if you've been out near there during a mana storm, you would have likely seen one. A flare like that.
I'm
But
sure
the
there's probably a
sky
good
still
chance I
doesn't
was
have
at some
anything.
point, but
Yeah. So, would you recognize it as a spell flare? Yes.
okay.
And because of Merith being Merith, you would also most likely recognize that it is a spell, even though neither of you really know what spell.
Are we talking flare like signal flare, or like the burst of light that might come from a spell?
The burst of light that might come from a spell being used. This
So
was
it's not necessarily like
up into the air.
bright light. Yeah.
This was a couple blocks over. You saw more like
Flash.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not accompanied by like a loud bang or anything like that. So kind of like just the flash part of a flashbang.
Right. Did we open the window, or did we just peer out the window?
Neither of you told me you opened it. You just told me you looked.
All right. I would like to open the window and jump out and immediately start flying.
All right.
Just to see if I can get a better vantage point.
All right.
You want me to roll anything for that, or just...
No, that's just something you can do. It's not hard to open the window, and you have the ability to fly, so it just happens.
As I finally leave the area, 19 perception check, assuming I don't take disadvantage, 11 if I do, just to see anything out of the ordinary.
11 would be enough.
And I would have lowered myself slightly, just to try to get in the general area of the initial commotion, not necessarily raise myself to see where the flare came from.
Because none of these guys are trying to hide.
You cut out, I'm sorry.
Nothing is currently trying to hide.
Okay.
So it is out in the street, a couple of blocks over, and I'm assuming you kind of flew in that direction.
I'm going to go back into the room and make sure everyone's up and let them know
okay.
Before I do anything. I'm not going to take that chance.
Fair enough. So
yo, guys, out. There's a thing.
You don't see anything directly beneath you. Wake them up.
Yeah.
And we can keep that roll. So Lucas wakes the other two up.
Ring-a-ding-ding, time to do something.
Yeah. And then I assume you're flying back out to see if you can find anything. Or
I'm gonna kind of maintain my position just to see if anything else changes. I'm not gonna leave the group or try to take something on myself. However, can I reasonably infer that I'm relatively hidden? Or would you like me to make a stealth check? Flying disadvantage otherwise.
Go ahead and make your stealth check.
Okay.
You don't have to be at disadvantage. Again, it's dark out, so...
Right. If anything, it'd be advantage. 17.
17, okay. Good to know. From your vantage point now...
More in line with the window. I wouldn't have...
Yeah.
Just to make sure that everyone else in the room could see relatively where I'm looking.
You can see the first of some kind of shambling figure off in the distance.
Okay.
It's coming around the corner from where that light was just a minute ago.
All right.
And every once in a while, you still see another flare of light.
Regular intervals or otherwise?
It's not terribly consistent.
Okay. So somebody's not trying to keep something up, they're reacting, most likely.
Yes. From the experiences you have you ever had an experience actually around a spellcaster when they were fighting?
Only if I ever engaged in combat with the patrols. For the most part, most of my dealings would have been with brute people.
Okay. Then it's lights at random intervals.
Okay.
But
good enough for me.
With the window open and all of you now awake, you can start to hear the sound of at least some fighting. Off in the distance. Again, around the area where the light is and where you are seeing that first shambling figure.
Okay.
So,
and I'll obviously convey that to my friendlies.
In that case, what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go grab one guard and say, come with me. We're gonna go protect Merith for a little while. The rest of y'all, and I'm not gonna be picky choosy, but I'm just say you come. Probably some guy who was sleeping, some guy who wasn't out, doing guard stuff. Because I feel comfortable assuming that this lady had guards,
Yes.
at least some small force.
Yes, there are definitely guards here. They're dressed the same as you've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Atrix, how much do you weigh with all your shizzle
With all my stuff,
that you have on you?
it says 93 pounds.
On top of your body weight,
Correct.
which would be roughly what?
38 pounds.
Oh yeah, you're small, aren't you? So
Yeah.
120-ish, give or take.
120-ish, yeah. 120.
What is my carry weight while flying?
I think it's still whatever your
What
strength
it-
is.
what-
I don't think it changes.
I didn't think it changed. And then carrying weight is
Give me a second. Because I know it's a calculation
Strength.
that I never remember.
I could also drop my backpack.
Multiply a character's strength by 15. That's how much you can
Oh,
carry.
you can just click on the weight carried button in your inventory too. It'll just pull up a sidebar, and it'll show you.
so 225 total. What's my gear? Put me at. Where's that carry weight section? Or
If you go to your inventory, it's like next to actions.
oh, I found it. Weight carry. So I'm carrying 20 pounds. So 140, give or take, with me and Atrix.
So yes, you could carry.
Yes. Atrix, would you like me to fly you over to that direction?
Yes, please.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
Alrighty.
Normal fly speed's my walking speed too, so it's 30 feet.
30 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna grab 2 guards.
We might come back.
Are you gonna say
We're
are
just-
you staying in the building for now, or are you going outside?
Oh,
I
I'm
assume
going
the
to
two
set up
flying are
shop.
going outside. But Merith
What?
and Hadrien, are you going outside or are you staying inside?
I'm going to advise that we stay inside and set up a defensive in Merith's suite.
Wait a minute. Atrix, do you have dark vision of any kind?
I don't think so. I think I have.
I think halflings do.
Do they?
Don't think halflings do. I think they're one of
I don't
like
think
3
halflings
races
do.
that don't.
There are extremely few that don't, so let's find
It's
out.
like
real quick.
So you're actually
Humans,
more
Dragonborn,
useless.
and halfling.
I mean, I have. Yeah. No, I
Am I
have
cutting out
torch.
again?
Yeah, no, I don't want to be a. As much as tieflings like fire, I don't want to be a flying ball of fire.
You sure? Could be fun.
Yeah, hot air, cold air, turbulence with wings is hard enough to deal with. So
Alright.
I'm gonna retroactively belay that order
So
or
not
decision
carrying,
rather.
Not carrying.
Final answer: I'm not carrying him.
Okay.
I am going to move in that direction.
Okay.
Still high above the ground, but within my dark vision. So
Yep.
50 feet,
Okay.
probably. We'll say 50.
You can see on the ground a couple of shambling figures, as well as some smaller cat-like things swarming around them.
Hmm.
And from what you can
Any
tell,
checks would help me discern what they are.
Sure, you can roll a nature check.
Nature. Okay.
I'll let you roll nature or arcana.
Nature's 15. We'll go with that.
All right. From what you can tell, the two shambling figures are probably zombies. They are probably undead.
Okay.
The cat things, you suspect they're also undead, but these are not anything that you've really heard of before.
Sure.
But
Okay.
on the grounds, the zombies don't seem to be attacking them. They seem to be moving in the same direction with the zombies.
That direction is
Towards where you guys are.
towards us. Okay.
Towards the center of town. It's not specifically towards the beacon, but it is towards the center of town.
Center of town.
Yeah. And they're
And would
about
a
a block away from where you guys are.
block away?
Mhm.
Would a 13 perception check notice anything, like if they looked in my general direction or did anything wonky as soon as I kind of got closer?
Not that you noticed.
All right. With that information, I would probably begin to make my way back to inform the rest of the group.
Okay.
That is enough for me to declare emergency.
You did notice there is one other figure who is actively running towards them and appears to be chasing after them.
towards the zombies?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I figure he's got enough gall to handle it.
Yeah.
For the time being, at least.
And you see another flare of light as you're turning around.
Towards the beacon area or back where I seen the originals?
It's close to where the zombies currently are.
Okay, so about a block away from center of town. Us. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to make my way back and through the same window and inform everyone to the best of my ability there.
Alright. So he relays the information I just gave him.
Blah.
Great.
Unless he specifically
So-
wants to say it again.
So it's another invasion of some sort.
It seems to be
Potentially.
another small incursion.
We should probably stop it.
How do you guys want to handle this?
Fight it, you're welcome to, but I am perfectly content to let other people try and stop it and only do my part when it gets to me. And
All right. That being said,
by bringing these two guards here to this room and setting up a defensive so that we can, one of each of us at either side of the door, blocking the door.
are we talking hotel room door or are we talking entry door? Like building entry?
Well, I grabbed
First level.
two guards and there are four of us, so there can be three people at each door. I'd say one guard at each door, Merith and I at one, you two at the other.
Okay.
And
I like the plan. Atrix, any preference?
I'm fine with guarding.
Front door, upper door.
I'll guard the
Oh.
front door.
okay, yeah, cool.
All right.
Then I will
Are
do
you-
the room door.
I was gonna say, are you two good here then? If so, I'll go to the front door as well. Because I can get around pretty quick. So
As can I.
I'm
yes,
with you. I'm
thanks.
more than happy to be guarding this door. Merith, you?
I'm fine with this door as well.
All right, cool.
All right.
I relay
Front door it is.
the guards, even though they were
And
right here to listen to it.
11 stealth check.
I will
All right.
also
Well,
make a
they're
stealth
zombies,
check.
so
I don't have much competition. I get that, but
Yeah.
still.
are you on the outside or the inside? Did you go to the outside of the doors to guard, or are you on the inside of the doors? Inside the building still?
I would have done the opposite of what Atrix did. For the sole purpose of flankage.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna kind of post up outside the door so that way they don't even have the chance to get in.
That's why I asked.
Like
Because
both
you
of
just
us,
said you were going to
yeah,
go
both
defend
of
the
us
door.
just like
You can defend
hide
the door by
outside
barricading
somewhere.
behind it, or you can defend the door by getting in front of it and attacking.
If you want to
trying
take the
come
front,
at
we
it.
should both do the front at that rate.
Yeah, we can, because that's what I was gonna do. I was just
I
gonna
figured you
like
would sit back a
hide.
little further because you're. Are you a range art?
Yeah,
Are you more ranged or are you more?
I mean, I'm more ranged. I have 2 short swords that I could do damage with, but
Okay. If you want to take the front, I'll take the front with you. But if you want to take the back, I'll take the front.
let's both take the front.
Take the front. Got it.
All right. So
And I will be on the ground. I won't be flying. As long as I can. As long as I have easy line of sight of hostiles.
fair enough.
Relatively. So.
In order for them to get to you at the front door, they would still have to get through the gate.
Right.
Okay. Perfect.
So it is the most of the
I say we
fence
let the
is a
gate do the
wrought-
job.
The fence is wrought iron, but the gate is a like oaken gate.
Okay.
So you will have visual through the fence, but not through the gate itself.
Right.
Is there an eave or anything I could fly up to actually see beyond said door?
I mean, if you wanted to, you could go perch up on top of the archway on top of the gate itself.
Done.
It'd be fairly narrow, but it would be wide enough you could stand on it.
Just for 19 acrobatics.
It's not designed to be stood on. It's not like a true defensive barrier.
Right.
But it is.
I'm sure the posts that it swings on are heftier.
Yeah. It's.
So I would go to the furthest post from the direction that they're attacking.
Okay. In that case, I will have Lukas and Atrix. You guys can roll your initiative.
Hey, look at that.
Y'all will
That's a
actually
thing
be
we
using
haven't
it.
done yet.
Merith and Hadrien.
Wow,
you can
that's
roll it as
sad.
well, but I don't need yours just yet. I may not need yours at all, depending on if they stop the
5.
incursion at the gates.
Yep.
Yours is
Okey-dokey.
5.
Yes, sir.
I got a 13.
That's ever so slightly embarrassing.
Okay. I just rolled for my
Ominous.
guys, and it's mildly humorous. All right.
Yeah, humorous to you.
And I have to roll for the one NPC that's fighting them right now. Okay. That means from where you are now, you see the first of these cat-like creatures come around the corner. It is
Okay.
within your bowshot range, and if you would like, we can switch to roll 20 and use the battle mat.
Ooh.
That would be functionally relevant.
Hmm.
If I can navigate my thing here. There we go.
It's okay, I gotta switch the stream over to seeing the battle mat too. So our beautiful faces are gonna go away for a minute.
I'm so sorry for everyone who's about to not see my own face. It's a tragedy for all of you.
Alright.
Understand that
have all
you're
4 of
probably
you
suffering
there,
alone because there's
but
no viewer.
currently the only 2 that are actually outside are
Just drop me off. Oh, nope, that won't work. Never mind.
I'm gonna put you inside the building where you disappear.
Cool.
Lovely.
Because currently Merith and Hadrien are both inside the building. Alright. And like I said, they go first, so the first of these little cat-like things, and unfortunately, D&D Beyond does not have, or D&D Beyond has a picture for them, but Roll20 does not, so you get these little creepy orb things instead.
Understood.
How do I get to the map?
It's Roll20. Do you have Roll20 up?
I do.
Just load into the stream and it should put you on the map.
There should be a button that says like launch game or something like that.
Yep.
Launched game. Gotcha.
Yep.
I actually expected you to get to this last week and you didn't. So
The act of murder hoboing was not as strong with this.
that's perfectly fine.
So
But yeah. These things. Yeah. They're not quite able to get into a range. They've just rounded the corner. And that puts it at Atrix's turn.
Come on, this is all still loading in.
Yep. You need to decide what you're doing, and if you're targeting one of them specifically, make sure you click on it so it pings it for me so that I know which one it is, so that I can correctively.
did you get that ping proper?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure that all works right.
And I want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Yeah. Because I care an awful lot more about how
I have changed my color.
stream looks than how the battle map itself looks on that computer, because that's why I have two computers. So I can run it and stream it.
Awesome.
Sweet. All right, so these two little
The two little
golden
orb things, yeah.
Okay, so the first one's rounding the corner.
Those two that you can see are what you can see.
Okay.
You can hear
I made it from there,
more
right?
stuff coming,
Okay.
but those are the two that you can see.
Understood.
Okay. Perfect.
And it is Atrix's turn, so it's up
I
to you
gotta
to decide
check
what you're doing on your
here.
turn.
Okay, so that is
Like it.
five square diagonal away.
I
For the first one, I could
do,
make
that's right.
I could make a ranged attack on that first one. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. I'll just do a ranged attack with my longbow on that first target rounding the corner.
Right on. Roll to hit.
It is a 16.
All right, that hits. Roll for damage.
And that is a 12.
You watch as the first one into dust.
Cool. One down.
Hey, those are good numbers.
And I will
Suffice to
take-
say, you're going to be doing most of the ranged, so I don't have my bow drawn. Rapiers for days, or short swords for days. What do I have? I forget.
Swords for days.
I have a short sword. God, that's so different for me.
I will take a arrow out of my equipment or inventory.
All right.
Do you have a short bow or a long bow?
I have a longbow.
Lucas.
And do arrows count differently?
For a longbow and a short bow?
Yeah.
As far as D&D is concerned, no. And as far as reality is concerned, yes.
As far as you were concerned as the DM.
No.
Okay.
It's an
So
arrow.
if I need to give him arrows, I can give
Yeah.
him arrows.
Realistically,
Lovely.
a longbow for a halfling is probably a short bow for an
True.
awful lot of larger races anyway.
Fair enough.
Very true.
I'll take the descriptors.
Lucas, what is your dex mod?
My dex mod is... Should be 3. 3.
Okay.
Final
You're
answer.
next.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said then you're next.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I'm playing a different character. I gotta think. Let's go. I'm simply going to move my character, and that's going to be it for the time being.
Okay. I am now going to reveal what your character can see now that they can see down that way.
My basic understanding of Roll20, the dynamic lighting is not easy with.
It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, lovely.
But yeah. So that's what you can now see.
All right. Final answer still. Final answer.
All right. Then that means going to adjust what our stream can see here real quick. So they can see more of what you're looking at. There we go. That should... Yeah.
Awesome.
That means that it is the NPC who was chasing them's turn. And they are going to as soon as I get to the thing that I need to see. Because they're casting a spell and I don't remember what the spell save is. Dex, okay. I think the zombie succeeds. Yep, it does. So you see them reach out their hand, and the same flash that you've now seen a couple of times is real defined for you, Lucas, as
Lovely.
a column of flame hits near one of the zombies, just barely missing them.
Okay.
And then moves in closer to the zombies. And that makes it the zombie's turn. This zombie is going to take a swing at the one that just tried to fry it, who is now in melee range. And just barely hits. So you watch it take a swing, but alright, so it takes a swing at her. You can see it should have connected, but she just barely moves out of the way. Now the second one is going to continue to move closer to you guys. They're zombies. They're not smart. Which brings us back to the top of the round with Atrix.
All right. I am going to also move closer.
All right.
Oh, there's a lot of feedback happening. You want to make sure that's not coming up on the stream.
Could someone check that? Because I don't have any way of doing it.
I'll do that real quick.
I'm not getting any on my end, so it shouldn't be.
I registered a little bit.
Should be good.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to proceed to move closer to here.
All right. Doing anything else? All right, so you still have your
No.
action, bonus action, so...
Ooh. What can I do with that?
I mean, the most reasonable thing to do would be to attack.
Yeah.
Unless you have something better that you're keeping us all in suspense for.
I could attack that second, not the zombie, but the other creature next to it.
Gotcha.
Again, with a ranged attack, my longbow.
All right.
With a 10.
10 misses. That would make it, unless you have a bonus action you're going to use, Lucas's turn.
You good there, Atrix, then, or?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Wacha! Oops. Wacha! And then, with my glorious short sword, does a 13 hit.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
4.
You murdered it to death.
I murdered it to death. That was great. So,
However, when you do, it releases a cloud of dust.
oh, lovely.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Ah! Where's my con save? There it is. How's a natty 20?
Oof.
21 total if you need it.
You kind of wrinkle your nose a bit, and you get a quick sneeze, but nothing else happens.
Lovely. All right, and if I did my math right, I should have another 5 feet of movement left. And with this thing gone,
Yep.
I'm no longer in melee range of that. So we're going to... Let's do... there. And that will end my turn.
All right. That would be... your ally's turn.
How far away is he? 20 feet? Yeah, I'm still gonna stay ranged, and I'll do
They're going to take a swing at that zombie. And not do very well, because I doubt that hits. Okay, it hits. That was not expected, because that was real low. All right. So, what you guys see is a scythe slash out at this zombie. And you just see a cloud of dust come off of it.
So they are some.
Oof.
And now I gotta mark it for taking damage. Alright. That would make it the zombie's turn. That zombie's gonna take a swing at... This zombie here is going to take a swing at the one that just attacked it. And it hits. Alright. This one is going to move to Lukas. And make an attempt to grapple you.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Lovely.
So
That's an opposing strength check?
they have to
Or-
roll strength. You get strength or dexterity. Specifically, I think it's
What?
athletics or acrobatics.
or specifically acrobatics.
Yeah.
That's not a saving throw. That's just a
No, it's a skill check.
competitive. No, I meant for the dex, right? It's just a competitive dex check, not a saving throw.
Yeah,
Right.
it would be your athletics or your acrobatics, though. Like your actual skill, you get to use them.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a
Let's
saving
do acrobatics. 16.
You are grappled.
Jesus. That's not fun.
No, it is not.
Might as well stay on that page.
All right. That brings it to
I knew I should have flew.
the little thing's turn. The first of which is going to run up to Atrix.
Oh boy.
Actually, they're both going to run up to Atrix. And they is going to make their attacks. Does a 10 hit? That'd be for you,
10?
Atrix. Does a 10 hit you? Is it higher than your armor class?
Armor class is 15.
So both of them take swipes at you with their claws, but they both miss.
Cool.
Which brings it to your turn.
All right. I'm going to draw just one short sword
All right.
and take a swing to the one. How do you ping? How do I ping
long
this?
click on something.
Long click on something.
Mhm.
Okay.
That one.
Yep. I'm gonna swipe. Or I'm gonna take a hit at that one.
All right. Roll for your attack.
Boy.
Yeah, it hits.
23. And then 5.
All right. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw as a cloud of dust erupts from it. As it goes
Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
down. 22.
All right. Just like Lukas, you kind of get a bit of an itch in your nose, but shake it off.
Very nice.
That would make it Lucas's turn.
Oh, another.
You can try
Acrobatics?
and break out. You don't have to. You could attack him while grappled, but I believe you get disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm not taking that chance. How's 19 acrobatics?
On the grounds that it's unlikely that they'll be able to hold you. Oh yeah, you break out easily.
Lovely. And then...
Since I'm amazed they managed to catch you the first time.
As am I.
Well, it did roll a natural 20 to catch you, so...
Yeah,
that's the only reason
what I
I
was
think it
thinking.
could.
Yeah, 21 to hit it then.
Yeah, that hits it.
Oops, that was the wrong. I clicked the wrong weapon in general. So
Okay.
you want me to roll that again? It's the same hit DC for both. I meant to use my short sword, but I hit my dagger button
That's
for the hit.
Yeah, just roll the damage correctly.
Just roll the damage. Okay.
Yeah, if it's the same pluses to hit, I don't care.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 7 damage.
Nice. All right. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, lovely. How's an 18?
Nothing happens.
Man, my nose is itchy.
Yep. Another plume of dust comes out of it.
Cool. And then I've still got movement, yeah. So
Correct. I assume
Sploof.
you were bonus action disengage.
actually, say again.
Are you actually going to disengage, or are you staying within melee of him?
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
Well, you're a rogue, so you have bonus action disengage.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, bonus action disengage and there we go. I'm done forgetted.
All right. That makes it your ally's turn. They're going to take another swing with that scythe of theirs. And just barely hit again. All right.
One rank, two of them all.
Tolkien Foundation will come after us.
Nah, they'll be fine.
Or the Tolkien Estate, or whatever the hell it's called.
Alrighty. That leaves the zombies. The one is just going to continue to try and pound on the person who is slicing it up with a scythe. And they miss. Swinging wide. The other one is going to move in an attempt to, this time, hit Lukas.
I'm sitting it. Okay.
I assume a 23 hits.
Unfortunately.
That would be a 5 hit points worth of damage to you.
Ow.
We
But that makes it Atrix's turn.
okay. I'm going to, with my short sword still drawn, I'm gonna take a swing at that second one there.
All right.
That is a 23,
Hits.
and damage is a 9.
Oh.
It goes down. Roll a Constitution saving throw. Both of you.
Yep. I
I
figured.
got a 5.
7.
All right. So, both of you gain disadvantage on your attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks for the next minute. As you are coughing and hacking.
I suppose that's better than alternatives.
It's better than what happens if you inhale the dust from the zombies.
That's nice to know. All right.
You
Should
said
be-
attack, saving throws, and what else?
Ability checks.
Ability checks.
Basically everything that matters in the immediate.
Pretty much.
Gotcha. Cool.
And I will ask if Merith and Hadrien have any intention of joining this fray, or if they're still sitting it out.
I expect Merith is getting anxious at this point.
It's only been a couple of rounds, so realistically, it's only been about 15, 16 seconds since you started hearing the fighting outside.
Cool, maybe not then.
Yeah. Real time, it takes a lot longer. But in the game world, each round only lasts for like 6 seconds. Or 10 seconds.
Kian, you're muted.
I know. I did that to myself because
So,
I knew I was in the background.
With
I
this
didn't want
going
to
around for the
just
third
do anything.
round, the fighting has been going on for about 30 seconds.
Okay, so that's like 5 rounds. Cool. Because I did not count. Okay, yeah, I think half a minute he's anxious, but totally aware of the fact that he can just like it's still the stay here and wait time frame.
Mm-hmm.
We do have 2 guards with us. Merith might be willing to part with one.
We have one. The other one, I believe, went with the other 2, didn't he? Or am I?
Oh, where's
stupid?
he then?
You said you kept both of them, I thought.
Oh, I meant to send one with the other group, but I guess he stayed with us. It's fine.
We'll send him off. He'll be fine.
Suppose we'll find out soon, won't we? So that was Atrix's turn.
Correct.
That means it's Lucas's
Yep.
turn.
All right. Bonus action disengage. 15. And let's do 10 feet of flight.
Okay.
And then
Let me give it...
is it free action to sheath and redraw a new weapon, or is it?
I think it is.
Okay.
We're just going to add...
Screw it.
Just so that I can keep track of what's going on.
Yeah.
I add a 10.
I'm just going
each
to,
character, so I know that they're 10 foot in the air.
Yeah.
Along with a little mark there that... I know it's
Yeah.
a halo with angel wings, but it's wings, so it
Close
will
enough,
remind me
right?
that they're flying.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna sheath my short sword and pull my short bow,
Alright.
and that's gonna be it for time considerations there. But
Alright. That brings it to your ally's turn. Making another swing with that scythe of theirs. And they whiff.
damn.
Which means zombie's turn. First one hits the one that's been fighting them. other one is going to make a move towards Atrix because its prey before that flew up into the air and is out of its reach. But it did learn grapple bad, punchy good. So it does take a swing and unfortunately crits on you with a natural 20.
Great.
Dealing 8 damage. And I think when we finish this up, we will probably call it because we're going on 11.
Okie
Regardless
dokie.
of how you all finish it up.
Say
So
if we
just
came just GTFO.
Yeah, just disengage, go back inside.
It's up to you,
Because,
folks.
I mean, yeah, I'd say disengage, go back inside. Especially after getting hit with that big ol' critical hit right there. So I'm assuming inside is that doorstep right there?
Yep.
Okay. And that is 30 feet. So, I mean, I can go 25. And just go, like, up there.
Dusty, just
Or,
because you're not
sorry, right
familiar
there.
with this, if you move outside of there without disengaging for your action, you will take an attack of opportunity from the zombie.
Oh. Okay,
Now,
so I have to disengage
it
first.
means you can't attack. You could say you disengage and make that run. But you wouldn't be able to attack it.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I would disengage. And then go up there.
All right.
Awesome.
That would be Lucas's turn.
Yep. Floof.
And that would be her turn. And knows that she can't fight both of them herself. Makes a break for it too. Zombie here could catch her. The other zombie is too slow. And that zombie misses. So I'm assuming the next turn you guys are just going to both go inside.
Absolutely.
Bloop.
I'll pick him up if necessary.
Well, neither of these guys have any range, so they can't attack you. They can't get that far. So you both go inside. Are you shutting the door, or are you leaving it open for the person that was helping you? Who was making a run for where you guys were?
I'm going to probably stay outside the house, but within the gate. Still flying back up on that arch.
Gotcha.
So
I'm gonna go inside and shut the door to save my ass.
All Alright. Then they are going to, again, disengage and book it towards where you guys are. And Lukas, since you stayed outside, you recognize a very familiar elf wearing all black. With a black cloak clasped with a raven and the scythe clasped in the raven's talons.
Ah, lovely.
And that's where we'll call it for the evening.
Awesome.
Perfect.
So 2 weeks from now, we shall pick up where this left off.
That is March 20th for those interested. Live. We are still live right now, right?
Yes, I haven't ended it yet.
Yeah, cool. Just making sure.
Nope.
March 20th. Also, quick shout out. Thanks Lemon Nerd Boy, that is Andrew Lister, sent me a free set of dice. That's how Ellie's able to play. Go check him out on Twitch. That's Lemon Nerd Boy. All one word. Just some pretty cool stuff. A lot of Pokemon and other things. So go. Thank you, Andrew Lister, for that.
All right. And with that nice little blurb, I will see y'all in 2 weeks.
Awesome.